Welcome to 7th and 8th grade Language Arts Curriculum Night. I'm Shay Brunson and this is Katie Hobson. So the language arts standards are pretty similar for 6th through 8th. Our school uses the Federal Common Core state standards for language arts. You can find them simply by Googling Common Core language arts standards. There are 4 parts to language arts. These blocks are reading, writing, listening and speaking, and language. Reading becomes broken down into 2 separate sections. One is reading for information, and one is reading for literature. The standards for both are fairly similar, but they are related to expository text for reading for information and fiction text for reading literature. In K-5, we're looking at reading for decoding, so there's a lot more phonics and sight words. In 6-8, we transition heavily to comprehension and analysis, meaning they read for understanding. The best way to help your child improve in reading is to let them read on their own. There are a ton of benefits, many of which are listed on the slide. Writing has 3 modes that we're going to look at. The first is narrative, meaning storytelling. The second is expository, meaning factual writing, similar to research papers or technical journals. The third is argumentative, meaning a persuasive paper. I want to convince you that I'm right and you're wrong. All 3 of these will be taught related to whatever reading we're doing in this class. We will also be teaching the writing process, technology, and research with each mode to where they have to provide some sort of background. The papers that we ask your children to write will only be written in class, not at home. This is so we can best see what they're doing with writing and help them. We will be available before school, after school, or at lunch by arrangement if your child needs more time. Please email us and let us know. We're very happy to have them come in and work. Listening and speaking is usually overlooked as an area that should be taught and scored. But so much in today's world, we do listen for information, and especially in a work environment, we have to be able to communicate clearly, which means being able to ask the appropriate questions and listen for the information that our bosses or our peers are giving us. Because of the fact that you can't make up this work, you can't say, okay, these 5 kids are going to stay after class and have a discussion. It's very important that your child be here. We do sprinkle listening and speaking sessions and mini lessons throughout the semester. So if your child misses one day, it won't hurt them. But if they miss multiple days, they might have a really difficult time. Your child will be required to give a minimum of 2 presentations this year. As long as they pass those, they won't have to give another. The 4th and final block is language. Language is what most people think of as their English class from high school, where you learned a lot of spelling, punctuation, capitalization, but especially grammar. That piece where we look at how sentences are structured. We generally teach grammar in mini lessons and then assess whether or not a child has learned how to use the grammar properly by looking at their writing samples and listening to them in discussions and speeches. On the screen, you'll see a couple of memes that help you out. For instance, the one with grandma. Without that comma, you're saying, we want to eat, grandma. With the comma, you're saying, come on, grandma, let's go out to eat. The class format in both mine and Mrs. Hobson's class is extremely similar. We both have planners that are on display and near our document camera. Mrs. Hobson's going to bring that around to show you. And students are able to look in there at any time and make up what they have. As students work, they write down their assignments and they will highlight in yellow when they have an assignment that's coming due. Once they've finished the assignment, they will then take blue or some other color to highlight over it to show that they have finished the assignment. This is really nice for your students and for you as a visual to show what they should be working on if they're home and are missing assignments. We also both use the same curriculum for our classes. Collections was adopted by our district. It's a little black book that looks like this. Students will have an electronic login and may check out a book from the library if they need a hard copy for at home. If they haven't already received one, they're getting one this week. We also have some novels that we'll be reading in class. There are some on display in the back of the room if you want to see them after this presentation. And lastly, we rarely give homework. In fact, I can't think of a time where I said, here's your homework, you don't have any time in class to work on this. We do, however, assign work that we expect to be completed in class. At times, they may receive work and not have enough time and have to take it home, but that's more unfinished work than true homework. We do use Google Classroom pretty heavily in our class. It is a tech piece that allows students to see what the assignments are in detail. When a student logs into Google Classroom, they will be able to click on the assignment, see the directions, and then either mark it as done if it's something that's not typed, or they'll be able to attach a document and type it. 1 second, we'll exit out of this presentation and we'll go ahead and show you what Google Classroom looks like. When a student logs in, this is what they'll see. Down the center is kind of like a Facebook stream. The most recent thing pops up to the top. When a student clicks on it, on the title, they'll be able to see the direct instructions, which are also listed right there, so we don't even need to click on it. Many times there are attachments. In this case, the attachment for the My Favorite Chaperone notes is an example of what they need to do. Okay, now we'll go back to the presentation and finish up. If you have any questions on Google Classroom, just have your child log in and explain it to you. I guarantee you, since we use it in class almost every day, they know it pretty well. Google Classroom does run off their student email. If you would like guardian email alerts, which will tell you, oh, your child's missing these assignments, or your child has these assignments coming up, we have a sign-up form in the back of the room. You can go ahead and put your name and your email, and we will make sure that you are on the list to get those alerts. Assignments posted to Google Classroom have exactly the same details, sometimes more than what's given in class. You will be able to see exactly what your child is expected to produce. If you would like to communicate with us, probably the best way to reach either of us is email. Mrs. Hobson's email is katie.hobson@albany.k12.or.us, and mine is shay.bronson with the same ending. In fact, all of the teachers have the albany.k12.or.us ending. All you have to do is change the first and last names. We also use the Remind program, which is a push notification program. We communicate important reminders to parents and students in this way. If you need help signing up, please see me or take a green sheet from the back of the classroom. You are welcome to call us if you would rather talk on the phone. I'll be honest though, we're spending our time with your kids when we're here. It's really hard for us to return calls as efficiently as returning an email. If you call and leave a message in the office, please give us 24 hours just to get the message. It might still take us another 24 to return your call. And are there any questions? If you're watching this on video, you are more than welcome to email us questions and we will get back to you.